Welcome to Twisted Monday. It has been quite some time since I have streamed Twisted Metal games on a Monday, but that means it's long overdue for a return. Especially long overdue is what we're doing today. So the last stream that I think I did for Twisted Metal was the Twisted Marathon, wherein I played every single game in the franchise back to back in speedrun fashion. That left a handful of levels unplayed. Approximately 8 levels, because I'm skipping the first 4 games, rather arbitrarily. They all have the bonus levels, but they kind of suck. Like, the only bonus level in the first game is just the first level again, but with too many enemies, so they all sort of match that underwhelming tone. So rather than make this a slog, we're gonna have fun and play the 8 levels that I did not play when I played every game in the franchise, starting with Twisted Metal Black, because we're skipping the first 4 games and this is the 5th one. So we're going chronologically. And I assume people are going to want to see the people's favorite, Manslaughter, tackle the first level, which would be the freeway, I suppose. The alternative to the suburbs. Let's get rolling. Find out if I'm still any good at this video game. The marathon strongly suggests that I am still pretty good at it, because I did not practice it very much, and I performed admirably. Then again, we're playing maybe my least favorite character, so that might even out. So I have not been streaming lately because of severe burnout due to absolutely no free time in my day-to-day life, but that has finally changed recently. Nice. And that means I am sort of back, easing my way back into things. I probably still will not be consistent by any means, but I will try to squeeze in Monday streams whenever I can. Sweet Tooth being usual Sweet Tooth self and owning the game. But for now, I'm going to focus on getting Twisted Monday back on track, and even still, probably won't be quite every week as I would like. I also will start doing weekly horror streams. Every week, different horror games. I've got a million of them, and I'm dying to play them. Or play them I shall. Maybe speedrun practice and stuff. Remains to be seen what I'll be able to do, but like I said, we're easing into it. Trying to make it fun instead of just burning myself out again. There's a certain lack of logic and self-defeating nature to just doing it all over again to myself. So let me heal myself. Did I have a chance at actually beating this level? I know this level inside and out pretty much, because it used to be in my speedrun route. I took it out, but it is hard to escape the trauma of speedrunning Twisted Metal Black. And I doubt I ever will. Wanted to give him a taste of his own medicine. With half of his own special fired back at him in the form of zoomies, but we'll take lethal machine guns anyway. There's seemingly nothing I can do against Spectre. He's kind of a nightmare. That's effective, though. If she lets you just fire a full reticle at her, she's not going to last very long. So yeah, even being as out of practice as I am, this character's kind of a beast, and I have like a literal decade worth of experience. So, with my backup life and no used health refills, this seems like an easy win at this point. Well, we do have the strongest enemy in the game, though. So as we're coming up on the end of this level, if anyone has any requests for what vehicle we play as in the next level, I will indulge. I sort of assumed what the first request would be. Just handed myself manslaughter. Now we can get the real thing, if anyone is interested. Otherwise, I'll just pick a character I like. Axel, not to be underestimated, apparently. Normally, he's pretty harmless. He makes an annoying enemy because he has infinite uses of his own special. So I'll use that fact to forgive myself. Still on track. We're doing just fine. Nothing to worry about. I did figure out a new, incredibly simple speedrun strat that I never thought of before. Because in Twisted Metal Black, I wanted to get a 25-minute time using Crazy 8 specifically. And I figured out a much easier way to do that than the method I had been using previously. There is an alternate control method which reassigns the special weapon to the X button, I believe, which makes it so much easier to spam. And that should pretty much give me the edge that I need to finally get that 25-minute time once I'm back in practice. Speaking of speedrunning and Axel being actually formidable, I believe Axel is currently the vehicle that holds the world record in this game. I haven't watched the new world record video, but there's been quite a lot of activity in Twisted Metal speedrunning. And yeah, I'm pretty sure Axel has at least a highly formidable time, if not the actual world record. Never would have called that, but I guess his special has enough knockback to, like, one-shot people over edges and stuff. That's what made Manslaughter so powerful in the previous world record. Well, we just talked about Crazy 8. Let's bring him to life. I had not reassigned my controls so as to put my special on the face buttons. But my man is going to the highway loop. Now, we've seen all these levels played with every character in the game on video. You could go watch them now if you wanted. I highly recommend it if you have like a dozen hours to spare. So basically everything we're doing right now is redundant. That's fine. Still fun. In fact, when I did every level with every character, I accidentally did Crazy 8 twice, and no one called me on it, because either they didn't realize it themselves or they wanted to see me do Crazy 8, covering all these bonus levels again. And who could blame them? Twisted Metal, at the end of the day, is Twisted Metal. Ah, I knew he was too far away. Default camera view for Crazy 8 is way too zoomed in, giving you no range of vision, terrible depth perception. And I forgot the button combination to switch the camera views. I think it's select and right. I'm clearly too far in the zone to try right now. Free shot, why? Why do you treat me like this? Ah, I wish I'd gotten Outlaw. I was trying to get Outlaw, but they were almost equidistant. The next game we're going to do is going to be Small Brawl. And we have not seen the bonus levels of Small Brawl in a long time. That should be fun. Plus, that game is ridiculously easy. Hard to humiliate myself. Let's finally zap this sucker. Guy's been tormenting me forever. Don't necessarily want to mess with Grim right now. I will take Yellow Jacket if he allows me anywhere near him. That'll do. What was that? Guess I deserved instant death for my hubris. I have been practicing a little bit of Twisted Metal 1 because I got a physical copy of it. I want to justify the cost. Twisted Metal 1 has gotten rather pricey. I got a very cheap copy and it was still probably the most, yeah, definitely the most expensive Twisted Metal game I've ever bought. Including Twisted Metal Black, which I bought when it was new-ish. When I bought it, it was $20 because it was a greatest hits title. Bought almost all my games after they went greatest hits. Those $20 is about all I've ever had to spend on anything. Oh, maybe I can Reticle Spectre again? Not really. Brutal. This is a pretty hard level. I always kind of undersell it, but it does put up a fight. I've game overed here more times than I should have. This might be another instance. I could still pull it out. My commentary is probably slightly ahead of the gameplay, unless I didn't change the setting that corrected that in OBS. Or it didn't change automatically over the course of the several updates that have occurred since the last time I streamed. I've actually been streaming regularly, and huge shout-outs to Static for picking up half the slack in all the streaming that I've done lately, because I have not been able to form coherent sentences on my own. And we've been doing co-op videos where he's been doing half or more of the talking. I don't know why they gave this level just the one recharge. It doesn't make it harder, it just makes it more irritating. Because you have to do laps to get health refills. And you could just hit a recharge. That can hit me through the ground. Switch to Shadow, please. Never did. Oh, but last enemy, as long as I don't fall off the bridge, we win. Pessimism paid off. I keep trying to split, because I've been doing speedrun practice. Well, in a speedrun, you play as Warthog. Actually, like, the top 10 speedrun times in this game are achieved with, I think, like 7 different characters at this point. So there are no rules in Twisted Metal Black, but Twisted Metal 1, you play as Warthog. So we'll play as Warthog, why not? Might help because we're going to the drive-in movie. The actual hardest level. Twisted Metal speedrunning has been going pretty wild. I assumed it was having a moment the last time I was doing it, in like October of last year. Really November, when I was preparing for the marathon that I participated in. Fastest Furs. But things have blown up far beyond what I had predicted back then. Many, many, many new world records, significant improvements of various players. My old times are in the trash can. And most of them were never accepted in the first place. I'd always intended to improve them because most of them were achieved during my 1-week speedrun challenges, so they weren't optimized by any means. So I'm very much looking forward to getting back into speedrunning. My marathon time was 7 hours and 15 minutes or so. And that was surprising in a good way, because it meant that my under 6 hour goal was very achievable. Really, all I had to do was improve my Twisted Metal 4 and 2012 times. And I will be under 6 hours. That means, like, under 5 hours is within my grasp eventually. Maybe even lower than that. Okay, she was a huge problem. Shadow can be a really, really terrifying enemy in this particular level. I only realized as she was dying that I typically fear her in this setting. Might have otherwise been intimidated. Don't have enough ammo for a shield. Try and optimize the satellite. My Spider the video game world record, I've never submitted. because I'm dissatisfied with the fact that it is still slightly over half an hour. I intend to come back to that and get a sub 30. And that is when the submission will finally happen. That's my starting goal for that game, was to beat the world record by like 2 minutes at least. A mere world record simply won't cut it. Even though it's my first world record. I think I technically had a world record in Twisted Metal Lost. I forget if that was before Spider, but no one really cares about that world record, so that's fine. Also, it was beaten by Drew Desidue. Congrats. Yes, gotta try and ride this life out. Its logical conclusion. Really, philosophically speaking, that is what we're all trying to do. Life lessons from off-the-cuff stream of consciousness blathering in the midst of high-stress video game playing. Certainly a lot better than heated gamer moments, I'll say that. What? There's a Spider the Video Game Sub 27 out? Did Caveman DCJ finally come back and submit his time? I noticed that Caveman DCJ got unbanned from GDQ. Finally. It had been like 7 years that he wasn't allowed to be involved with that. For very, very, very silly reasons. So I'm glad to see that he got unbanned. And I'm also glad that we have a formidable Spider the Video Game time. Okay, it's Joester98, who actually even beat Caveman's time, impressively enough. That was Last Enemy, by the way. We're done with Twisted Metal Black. Okay, Spider the Video Game has been blown out of the water. It'll be a long, long time before I can touch the actual world record, but I'm still going to go for a sub 30, because, you know, I want to have a sub 30 in that game. But we'll focus on Twisted Metal Black speedrunning when I really get back into speedrunning. First, I got to start that weekly horror stream. Then maybe a speedrunning stream on top of that. Switching games over to Small Brawl. Slowly. I wanted to do Small Brawl in emulator just so that the Switch would be much, much faster, but turns out I do not have a save with the bonus levels unlocked on emulator. I'd only been accessing them with cheats in the past. For the sake of the Let's Play. Yeah, I'm glad people actually are interested in me streaming horror. One person, at least. I'll take that as representative of thousands more. And I'm in a little bit of a don't give a fuck mood when it comes to what I'm putting out. I want to do Twisted Metal stuff because it's popular, but I even more so want to do incredibly surreal, bizarre stuff that will not be popular. That is what I am very, very, very excited to get into. So stay tuned for experimental nonsense, but you're also going to get the Twisted Metal to placate the masses. The opiate of the masses, that is Twisted Metal. Hope they loaded my save properly. Okay. Forgot how weird the controls are for this game, even in the menus. Nice. Anyone care what any vehicle I play in any of these levels? Say the word and it's yours. You have very little competition in the matter. Clearly piecemeal is not an option, but everything else should be unlocked. Nope. Oh, Trapper is even harder to get than piecemeal, so... It's not technically true, but it is emotionally true. We'll start with... Who's a good shock therapy character? Honestly, Outlaw. Solely for the title. Shock therapy time. With... I'm probably only going to put 3 enemies in here. Because I can beat the full roster of like 5. But it gets super frustrating. Just boring after a while. Now, let's do Spectre as well. Probably should have thrown in Grim for Halloween appropriateness. Appropriateness? Yeah. Not that it is Halloween, but this is a Halloween level. I will probably never unlock Trapper and Piecemeal in this game because you have to beat the game with every single character. And reports are mixed as to whether or not you have to do that on hard mode. So there's a chance I would just beat the game with every character and then not unlock the character anyway and have to do it all again on hard mode. Which is to say, a bunch of stuff that I don't want to do. Here's some shock therapy. Also, if I do ever want to play as Trapper and Piecemeal, I just have the Game Shark codes that I can use when playing on emulator. So I'll take those. There's no incentive to do all that work. It so happens that Outlaw is a ridiculously overpowered character, which is going to make this already easy game much easier than it would otherwise be. This game's for kids. But hard mode is kind of difficult. At least it can be in some levels with some characters. I think I just rear-fired that remote bomb. I'm actively trying not to use my special. Just so that we see some gameplay here. But yeah, unlocking Trapper is going to require, for one thing, a lot of time. And another thing, a lot of attention. I'd have to start getting 10,000 views a video on every Twisted Metal Small Brawl video for me to care enough to put in that time and effort. But I ended up ultimately unlocking Warthog in the 2012 game. There was not much interest in that in the first place, so anything is possible. Stuck on the wall. Like it's Twisted Metal 1 all over again. Tiniest bits of geometry you are never moving from. Everything's an impenetrable wall. So the speedrun scene, going to town, I'm very impressed with it. Pleasantly surprised by what's been going on over there, and I can't wait to get back into it myself. I actually did get a new PB in Twisted Metal 1 by 8 seconds over my previous PB. I really need to change up my methodologies. I mostly have it down well enough to get into like the top 4 times in that game. And I'm a bit stuck in my ways. So we'll see what I can do there. Got a few random goals for basically every game in the series. Eventually, I just need to start getting submittable times in every game. Because right now, I think I only am on the leaderboard for Twisted Metal 3 with a kind of mediocre time. There was a Goosebumps book where I learned the word dumbwaiter, which is what this is, a dumbwaiter. And in that book, a kid is dared to climb into a dumbwaiter in an abandoned mansion that they're urban exploring. And he gets in, and when they check the upper floor to see what was dropped off, when the dumbwaiter opened up again, it's just his eyeballs and his heart. And I thought that was way too scary for a Goosebumps book when I was a kid. That should probably have happened in this game, although this level already has eyeballs and brains in it, and bones and skulls, so it is at least as scary as R.L. Stine's original vision for childhood horror. We're not going to face any obstacles in this game, but these levels are really cool, and I'm happy to see them again myself. Good thing I chose the right option on that menu. We would have been in for some very, very long load times if I had accidentally selected yes. Okay, who's our hero this time? Well, Darkseid is my preferred speedrun character, and I'm in world record contention for this game. I don't know why. It seems like no one cares about speedrunning this game, which is a shame, because it is a fun one to speedrun. I recommend, if anyone is interested in it, pick it up yourself. But yeah, I'm slightly over a minute over the world record for this game, and I'm nowhere near optimized playing as Darkseid, which is my preferred character. And the other top 4 or 5 times are performed with Outlaw. So I think there's a lot of unfulfilled potential in this game. I doubt I'm going to be the one to do much of anything about it, but I probably will go for that world record. And yeah, if anything is if past trends are going to indicate anything, it is very likely that someone will beat that world record by a mile days before I get anywhere near it. That is, I was just about to start grinding the sub 30 in spite of the video game. That's why Darkseid's good, by the way. You can hit a person with your special like 3 or 4 times. Probably much, much more. But it's poorly programmed and allows you to stack it upon itself. Before I had done any actual speedrun attempts for Spider, I definitely would have checked the leaderboard. So I would have caught it. And Seiso asked why there's a green underglow on my car. The answer for that is some of the levels in this game are considered dark levels. They're deemed to have a dark ambiance. And when you play a dark level, your car glows green to help you see a little better. For some reason, this level is apparently determined to be a dark level. I don't know why. This is a like very, very bright level. Shock Therapy was very dark. Made sense there, but here it's seemingly an accident. Oh, whatever. It looks pretty cool. Roman candles on Outlaw, who never even attempted to use his special. Oh, I'm dead. Plenty more lives where that came from. I forget. Can you shoot down? Yeah. Steve Reich. Missed opportunity to have a whole, like, overhead animation thing. This is probably the most undercooked of the bonus levels that you can unlock. I feel like if they were going to put this level out in the main game, they probably would have added more to it. Whereas the others, they probably could have just gone in as is. But I like all three of the bonus levels a lot. That one just should be larger, maybe. It's a little more area where you can climb on top of the counter at the shoe station and do some shit up there. Welp, you gotta play as this game's unique character, Mime, who is also a fairly difficult to use character. We haven't seen these three, nor Hammerhead, nor Slam, I think? Yeah, I think I gotta include Slam. Using the weakest character of the three that I'm using. That's a choice on my part. Let's find out how much I regret it. We actually might be in for a slight challenge this time. This level, though, is significantly larger than the last one and has a lot of interactables. Some of which are very hard to interact with. I won't be bothering. Also, a very creepy theme song. I forgot about that. I don't include this one on the random song playlist for replacing licensed soundtracks, like I do almost all other Small Brawl songs, because this game's soundtrack is amazing. I did recently update the hell out of that soundtrack. It is now 14.5 hours long. I added the soundtracks of like 5 or 6 different games, including 2 soundtracks that were composed for the next game that I'll be playing in this very stream, Nightmare Cards. A game that it is a miracle that it exists. And I haven't played it yet. Gotta fix that fairly soon. Oh, I got Axel's special, which is... right, infinite missiles in this game. I thought I was going to do a shockwave. That special is really, really annoying when Mime uses it. It is pretty strong, though. Can I steal anyone else's special? Yes. Let us Hammerhead the Hammerhead. Who Hammerheads the Hammerhead? Not I, unfortunately. Maybe I'll still get the chance. There were some paper airplanes. I do kind of wish there were more specials that were appropriate to the whole you know, this is kids with toy cars and stuff. There was supposed to be a spitball weapon in this game. For some reason, they did not include it. Maybe they changed it to the Roman candle. Ah, we have... The reviews are in for Nightmare Cart. It is fun. It's a game that was essentially made for me, so... Honestly, kind of absurd that I haven't played it yet. I know what to do. Oh. Die instantly is what. I haven't killed anybody yet. This is getting to be a problem. There. Now I can be the only hammerhead. But I won't be. So few HP. That gives me a health refill if I shoot him. I don't know where the other health refills are. They might be... Yeah, I gotta take down the tree. There it goes. Forgot how cool the explosion effects were. And the extremely slow collapse. Which stressed me out because I'm really close to death. At least there's no fall damage. The embarrassing get killed by Warthog. That guy sucks. But every direct confrontation almost kills me. Not a good sign. Okay, it's just the Patriot missiles. I forgot what Warthog's special was in this game. Only one left. Merciful. Nothing much else, though. We got some power missiles. I might not be in world record contention for this game anymore. I know I was. I think those days are long gone. The way to get them back is simply to do everything I did the first time again. Another health refill, ready to go. Definitely want that off the playing field. And... victory! Okay. That was touch and go, but successful overall. Now we have to switch consoles. I do not wish to restart. Thank you for the good time. All brawl.
I'm right here inside your head.
Hello, Dravenlock, and thank you for the ongoing subscription. Glad to have you. Glad you were able to stop by. Now we got just the one game left, and it is currently loading up. This is not it. But there it is. That's the blaring, obnoxious guitar we've been dying to hear. Still taking requests for vehicles. No one has given one as of yet. I was just testing whether or not that would be possible. Turns out it is. We're not playing the fight of your life. Sorry, Tower Tooth. You'll get your day to shine. But this game only has 2 optional levels per playthrough. That'll leave us with 8 total, which is the typical duration of a Twisted Metal game. So this should work out as technically a full playthrough, sort of. Trying to remind myself what the fun characters are. I know what the unfun character is. ATV is still kind of fun, despite being extremely underpowered. Twister is quite fun. So we got a lot of levels to scroll through, it turns out. Egypt is the first we gotta mess with. I feel like it's been a while since I showed off this level. We have seen it a lot of times overall. I wonder if I'm actually on very hard, as I usually am when I play this game. I probably am. But I didn't think to check. The visuals should look pretty solid. I got a new capture thingy for the PS2. Hoping it's at least a moderate improvement. Can't realistically beat emulation, but for an actual console, looks pretty solid. Nice. Pretty cheap, too. I recommend playing PS2 games, because they're really good and financially reasonable. Their prices are skyrocketing, though, if you want physical copies. If you have some lying around, you're in luck. Your net worth just went through the roof. But if you are in the buyer's market, you are possibly having a rough time. It's still not ridiculous yet, though. This is my stock tip. It's your personal copy of, I don't know, Nightshade before it's too late. I should probably start fighting back a little bit. Oh, that's right. One life. This game is actually difficult in challenge mode. And only in challenge mode. I think we worked out that this is the only game where you get only one life when playing challenge mode. So this will be something. I might not want to play as Twister, but we'll give it a fair try. Yeesh. At least I'm up against ATV. Not sure why I almost called him AMV. I don't even know what an AMV is. Yeah, my PS2 laser is, or was, performing pretty badly. So I replaced it. And now I have a working PS2 that is backwards compatible. And I can get really solid speedrun times. But yeah, those things I mean, overall, considering they are on average 20 years old at this point, that is decent longevity, but a lot of them are dying. I have, I think, 3 or 4 of the 10 most expensive PS2 games, simply because my tastes have always been really, really obscure and weird, and those are the games that exploded in value. Damn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. But I was originally interested in like 7 of the 10 now most expensive PS2 games. So if I had been more indulgent and irresponsible back in the PS2 era and gotten every single game that I wanted, I would now have games that are worth like $1,000 a piece. I once held a physical copy of Rule of Rose in my hands, and I put it back down because $35 was too much to spend on a game that I hadn't seen or heard anything about yet. And it was years before I did see or hear anything about it. And it turns out it was right up my alley. It was like a perfect game for me. And at that time, I highly regretted not buying it. Today, I much, much more highly regret not buying it. Oh well. Well, he's gone. I love their last second shields. That's pretty much the only thing that makes this the very hard mode. Shield as late as they can. It was pretty wild to find the top 10 list of rarest PS2 games. Because it was, yeah, basically a shopping list. Except for the RPGs. A handful of them are RPGs, and I never liked those. And Nocturne used to be one of the rarest PS2 games, but it's been re-released so many times. No one even wants a PS2 copy of it anymore. Which is too bad, because I have the PS2 copy complete in box with the soundtrack. Would have been worth so much. But had to go and remaster it. Like jerks. Surprised that missed. Oh, that's right. Lucifer's Call in Europe, because they lost the rights to Nocturne to the developers of Blood Rain, who had made a popular PC game called Nocturne before they made Blood Rain. Rain herself is a pseudo spin-off of Nocturne. I just watched a speedrun of Blood Rain today, and that game is cool. The speedrun sucks, though. It can only be performed on the PC version, and it is like 90% out of bounds. I am not sure why I activated the special there. Didn't press the buttons to activate a special, that's for sure. That's where the entrance is. I'm really lucky Sweet Tooth is not pressing the advantage that he very much has. He could have reset this level very easily. Damn it. And he stole my health refill. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start adjusting settings if I am to beat this level. I had a feeling as soon as I picked Twister that I was doomed. Because my Twister full playthrough for Twisted Monday went hilariously badly. Twister and head-on is just bad luck for me. There it goes. Okay, we're done trying that nonsense. Slightly easier and better character. Before this gets unbearable. Oh, medium? Must have been on medium. Medium it is. Shadow's pretty solid. Grim's always solid. Twister is a legend. And Slam is broken. Try out Shadow. Shadow's fun. There are a lot of tragedies on that rare PS2 list. As soon as they do get remastered, though, all their value is gone. I'm sitting pretty with my PS2 copy of Silent Hill Shattered Memories. The Wii version is better and cheaper. But the PS2 version is what you use for speedruns. And boy, is it ever rare. That's one that might still retain its value no matter what happens. Because Silent Hill fans are weirdos. And they're only going to get weirder when the Silent Hill 2 remake comes out. In like 2 months. This is the stuff. Shadow is amazing in this game. And pretty much every game in which Shadow appears. I don't think there's a underpowered iteration of Shadow anywhere in the series. That's going nowhere. Finish him off before he snipes my next health refill. Ooh, and you. Not you, you. I don't even need your upgrade points. But I guess I'll take them. Too many twisters out here in the desert. Guess they're going for sandstorms being a thing. Maybe they wanted to license Darude for the soundtrack. Honestly, I'm glad they didn't. I love the soundtrack for this game. Turns out this composer has composed like a million games, including a lot of very, very popular ones. So I went and downloaded some of his other work to add to my random songs playlist. What's really making this difficult is that the full health refill seems to just be gone at the beginning of this level every single time. I don't even know if it's ever spawning in the first place. but it's certainly getting taken before I can get it. There's a health refill I'll take. We'll also support games preservation. Every single video game ever should be readily available to everyone at all times in perpetuity. And I believe there is a EU petition to make that the case. That is like actually being considered for law. That would be pretty cool. So far, so good, now that I'm not in a terrible vehicle. Twister probably has high potential in this game, but I have no interest in fulfilling it. This game is somewhat well balanced, but nowhere near as much as Black. Black is by far the most balanced game in the series. And it ain't even close. Free shot still kind of sucks. Rim, I don't even know what he's doing. Don't care for it. So resistant to participating in the game that he is getting himself stuck on walls and stuff. Rather than actually play. But there he goes. Actually beat the level. Stop Killing Games initiative, that's what it is. It's a damn good thing we have someone from Europe in the chat right now. I'm not supposed to be going into story mode. You know, Sweet Tooth's got to round us out. And take it home in Russia. Home sweet mother Russia. Not surprised that it basically fizzled in the UK. I don't think anyone is particularly thrilled with any of the actions in the UK that are going on, governmentally speaking. Hearing the news out of UK is one of the few things that makes me sometimes say at least I'm not there. Almost everything else I hear makes me think I'd rather be there. Five points of ram damage. This game has largely unsatisfying collisions. You kind of just bonk together like toy cars. I like where this is going at the moment. I think the full health refill is indicated on the map somewhere. I know where it is. And I needed to survive, but just a little bit longer to get to it. But I had 1 HP. That was literally a bullet that killed me. A bit too late. So in other news, my partner proposed to me today. That was pretty neat. In classic queer romance fashion, it like changed nothing about our relationship. It was basically just a means of getting extremely cheap and convenient legal name changes. Because the institution of marriage is quite the joke that we simply do not care about. If you want our feelings on marriage, listen to the song Queer as in Fuck You by Dog Park Dissidents. It's the first line of the song. But still pretty neat. Would be a major life milestone for anyone else. More than anything, though, it just sounds extremely funny to say out loud. So indeed, things are going pretty well in the old personal life. About time. And blow up the nuke in this level. Just the casual middle of the street. Nuclear bomb. They have in common Russian towns. I think we worked out that this is Moscow because of the cathedral over there. Thanks for the congratulations, chat. I do appreciate it. And it is a bigger deal than I'm making it out to be. Just not by much. This is actually a fairly easy level because it's so absurdly overdesigned. You can really easily single out and chase down any enemy you want to. I honestly prefer the excitement of large melees, but this game caps out at 5 enemies. And, like, this level is not designed for 5 enemies. You could put 10 enemies in here and it would still be a little sparse. Had to freeze me on the way out. Axel is always frustrating. Just about done. If nothing atrocious happens. Twister gets a hold of me and prevents me from doing anything. Oh, I guess I won. I thought there was another enemy. I'm pretty sure there was another enemy, but there you go. Game unceremoniously over. So, I guess this isn't like a gargantuan anticlimax. Let us do something extremely weird and experimental. I'm gonna try just playing a random ending from one game. Literally at random from a shuffled playlist. Let's see how this goes. Second. There. I've already got one ending up because if you just hit the shuffle button on YouTube, it selects the same thing in the playlist every single time. I tested it extensively. So if you hit the next button, then it actually shuffles. So let's find out what ending we've been dealt.
Quattro, what earthly wish could you possibly desire? A bounty hunter? Tacky, Quattro. Really tacky. Not this time, Quattro. But thanks for playing.
Hey, they're really into Twisted Metal 4. How random is this really? whatever. It started at a random place, so we'll take it. That's one of the better Twisted Metal 4 endings. And obviously, a fantastic climax for this huge blowout welcome back to Twisted Monday. Which, like I said, may or may not continue very consistently in the near future. This is not the right media source. We want that one. There we go. Twisted Monday stuff. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, we're continuing with a first look at Nightmare Cart at long last. But for now, I'm signing off, taking a very, very short break. Hope you stay tuned. I am Fiendly, and I thank you for watching Twisted Monday.